Right then, I wanted to have a quick talk about how I've been using Google Documents with, with quite a lot of my students. A lot of my sort of Key Stage 4 students I've been using it with, because it's a wonderful place to upload documents and share them with kids and indeed staff. Now, I don't know if you've ever actually had a look at Google Documents. I mean, Google Documents, you go to Google, you can register quite easily, just by going to there and registering. If you're not sure where it is, you can just go to here and then go to Google Documents. There's loads of other stuff available as well as Google Documents. I mean, if you look under the More tab, there's just loads and loads of bits and pieces. I'm sure you've been to Google. If you haven't, go and have a look. Once you've registered, this is the type of thing that you will be presented with. Not as much as this, because I've uploaded loads and loads of bits and pieces. But you've got generally your collections and collections that are shared with you. And you can see that there's quite a few things that have been shared with me, because I've got loads of students that are sharing stuff with me at this present moment in time, because they share stuff back with me. But it's really, really useful just to share stuff with the students. I mean, I've got on here quite a lot that I've done with my product design group. You can see on here there's loads and loads of like the writing frame. I mean, this is an example of what it looks like. This is actually uploaded onto Google Documents, so this is available for any web-based interface, be it an iPad, be it on their web-based TV, within reasons, depending on the browser, of course, but on any laptop. And it's a really good way of sharing documents with kids. And it's, as well, you've got full control over who sees this. It's not just up there and out there. I mean, this is something we use within product design because it's a writing template for their A551, which we use with the kids that are struggling a little bit. We also have other ones. I mean, the example of a PowerPoint, this is an example of a kid's work who's actually got an A star. And we use this as a great sort of example to the kids, say, look, this is what you need to do. But that's also up there on there. I mean, this one's actually on standard PowerPoint, because what I've actually done is in here, they can, see there's the rear decide one, they can actually right click and they can download this. They can actually download that and use it anywhere they want. This one's quite large, so if I tried to open it, it would actually struggle. But it's up there. It's actually up in Google Documents, and I've shared it with the kids, so they can use it. They've got loads of other things like the writing frames. Oops, clicking there. We've also got things like the how do you compare, which we use quite a lot. In other words, sort of saying to them, right, this is what you need to do in order to get certain marks, which is really, really helpful for them, because a lot of the time, you know, they don't know. You know, trying to use things like the specification. How do you write the specification? How do you do a spec check? And all these documents, you can see this is the type of interface. They don't need to have PowerPoint. They don't need to have Word on it. And you can put down here what you can actually put in using these different examples with them, good and bad points. And it is like a PowerPoint, really. Great way of sharing stuff, and also for the kids to share their own work. I mean, if we go back to the main page, the kids obviously can share work with me. I'm not going to go into these individual folders because it's got kids' work in it. But each of these is a folder that they've created for their product design, which they then share with me. So they share all this, and you can see textiles, product design year 11, the sort of earlier product design. They've all got these, which they actually share with me, and so that they can actually have their PowerPoints, and they can say, look, sir, have a look at this. What do you think? Simple stuff like PDFs as well. You can share PDFs. You can output something as a PDF and then upload it. Very, very simple to actually create stuff, and I'll show you very, very quickly how to create a collection. I mean, I've just got one here, which I created new. Click on the Create panel. You can create a document, a presentation, a spreadsheet, a form. I won't go into those, but you've got the standard collection, and then what it says is, right, you're going to, you know, what do you want to call your new collection? So you can call it whatever, test folder, and it appears here. And then you can decide on who's going to actually be able to see it. So if I go on here and I go share, and share again, just put in the email address that the person has, or the student has actually registered with Google. They do have to be registered with Google in order to see it. So if I put in my home address and click save and share, then that person can actually see it. At the moment they can edit. I can quickly change it so they can only view it. Save changes, and that means that they'll just be able to view the documents. They wouldn't be able to edit them. Sometimes it's good that they can edit them. Sometimes, remember, if they can edit them, they can also decide on other people that can be added to the list of people that can see it. So they've got more of an administrative control over it. So a lot of the times it's a good idea just to allow the students just to be able to view and download them. You can also get rid of them very, very quickly. So we quickly got that. You've also got as well different things. You've got your trash. I mean, you can easily move stuff to the trash, and it will also tell you a little bit more about, well, how much you've actually got left. I mean, I've used around about 600 meg, only used around about 40% of my allocation, and you get a whole gigabyte of space to actually use. And if you use the actual documents, if I show you how you can upload something, so say if in our test folder I wanted to upload some files, and then I sort of went, right, okay, I'm going to have, let me see if I find something, lesson 1 gameplay just there. That's a PDF. I can open that one, upload it. It'll ask if I want to convert it. Yeah, I'll convert it. If you convert something rather than just uploading it, it doesn't use any of your space, because obviously Google want you to use their actual proprietary format. You can see it's finishing just there. That'll be able for me to actually then drag and drop into any of the folders. The great thing is, if you've got a folder that's already shared with somebody, as soon as you upload a new document to that, it becomes available to those students, which is perfect. So you can see it's now been uploaded. So if I have a look at all my different bits on here, I can close that down. All items, and you can see lesson that one is now ready. And that particular one, gameplay types, is all ready. So you can see that's from the Young Game Designers, and that's all been shared. Now if I dragged and dropped that into any of my collections, so if I drag that into my test folder, and you can see it's now in test folder. If I click on the folder, there it is. And that's shared with anybody that I have got under my shares in there. So if I wanted to add somebody else to there, I could just quickly add their email in there, and they would be able to see that document. So you can quickly create folders, as I've done for my different year groups, and then put all their email addresses. School email addresses are better, so that they're registered with those. Get them to register, and then as soon as they come into the lesson, they know what to do. And I mean, some of the great things that you can do, you can create help videos with these, how to do different bits and pieces. You can actually do verbal feedback as well. So I mean, I've got loads of verbal feedback that I've recently done for the kids, so they can listen to this at home, remember, as well as at school. Parents can listen to it as well. And this is the type of stuff to tell them how to change things. Brilliant bit, very, very versatile, very, very quick to set up. If you haven't got an MLE or something, you know, if you've got Moodle or whatever and it's just not working very well, I strongly suggest creating an account. It's fantastic. And maybe a bit later on I'll do some little instructional videos about how to actually set it up and do other different bits like collaborative working, because there's a lot more to Google Documents.